Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about an important topic: how to reduce our expenses and add more money in our pocket. With the cost of living on rise, it is essential to be mindful of our spending habits. In this economy, every little bit counts, so reducing expenses can add up. This can not only help us save money but also lead us to being in our path of financial stability. So without further ado, let's dive deep into our top 10 simple ways in order to reduce expenses. So let's start with our tip number 1. The first tip is to reduce our expenses by avoiding or reducing the number of times we eat out. You can also include your takeouts in this section as well. We can save a significant amount of money by reducing and eating less outside. You'll probably have to learn to cook by yourself, and cooking at home is actually not that bad. You can have control over what you eat. The second tip is to make a budget and try to stick to it. So this may sound like a no-brainer, but not everyone can practice it. You may have started doing it and you might have stopped somewhere in between. For God knows, you have your own reasons. But you need to stick to your budgets and routines, whatever you make. So track your incomes, track your spendings. In fact, track your individual spending, whatever you are spending. So track every expenses and see where you can cut back. Reflect on your changes every month to month and see where you are spending lavishly. Tip number 3 is regarding shopping smartly. So there is no way around it. You need to be smarter while shopping. Yes, I said that. So while shopping, you'll have to compare the prices from one store to different. Just keep in back of your mind when you see the prices, and next time, perhaps when you actually want to buy that thing, you will now remember that this store has a cheaper one. When I'll be around that area, I'll buy it. So you need to be smart about it. And the most important part is you need to buy it on bulk, probably if it's for groceries, and buy on sales and deals. Use your coupon card, use your points system, reward system, probably even your credit card reward system might be effective in this case. Sometimes your online shopping you will get certain vouchers and deals, so that would be effective as well. And most importantly, that is avoid using vending machines. They are definitely priced a lot higher. So if you are not in an emergency need of that, I'd probably say you should avoid it. The fourth tip is regarding the utility bills. So you need to find some ways in order to save money in these bills as well. Because over time, they consume up a huge amount of money that we are not even using. For example, perhaps you might leave your AC or your lights turned on when you are not using them. So a simple step like turning off the switch when you are not using them. And probably in some cases, well, my friends have this problem. You need to pay minimum amount of certain fees for utilities. For example, gas fees, for cooking, and also for your electricity minimum fees you have to pay. So I would suggest you, if your electricity supply is stable, I would suggest you to switch towards your infrared or your induction cooking stove system. If you can adopt that, you can completely avoid your gas minimum gas fees. Next tip, the tip number 5 is regarding your transportation. So you can use public transportation, yes, but sometimes that's not always available. So if you are like in a group of people who goes to a certain workplace or your university or wherever your destination is, if there is a group, try to carpool that. Or if not that even possible, then I would suggest you go take some alternative measures like probably riding a bicycle or riding a bike. That might be efficient as well instead of just adopting towards cars and vehicles. So try to get eco-friendly as well. Take your electric vehicles, take your electric two-wheelers. So tip number 6 is regarding cutting back on your subscription and your recurring monthly expenses. So for these subscriptions, probably it might be your gym membership or your cable TV membership. So if you are not using cables, then probably you can reduce on that. Or if you are not even using Netflix and your Hulu or your Disney TV, anything like that, you can cut back on that as well. That I would recommend, and not the gym membership one. Please keep your gym membership because health is your topmost priority. Because you can build wealth by just being disciplined. Discipline is your number first ingredient towards building wealth. For tip number 7, that is to refinance your debts. So if you have any debt loan that you need to pay monthly, then try to find a way where you pay the minimum interest rate on that. If you have a high interest rate paying, try to find some ways to change that into a lower interest rate program. So that is your refinancing your debt. Okay, for tip number 8, I would suggest is to look at your phone bills and try to reduce it. Take a look at your phone bills and see if you are actually using the plans that you have subscribed for. Probably you might have subscribed for a 5 GB data plan, but if you see your uses, you might not have even used your 1 or 2 GB. So if in that case, you can probably opt for a cheaper data plan or for a reduced plan. So whatever is feasible in your case, you can opt for a prepaid options, and you can opt for a cheaper SIM card. You can switch companies that can be cheaper. You just need to take your steps to find ways where you can reduce expenses. And also, what many people don't do is just don't turn on your mobile data usage every time. Keep your Wi-Fi on so that whenever there is a public Wi-Fi hotspot, it gets connected. But just don't turn on your mobile data every time. Or if you want to control, try to control your background apps that can use your mobile data. So that can help as well. So just make some simple changes that can help in a large way later on to help reduce your expenses. Okay, for tip number 9, I would suggest you to try to avoid using single uses product and try to opt more for your reusable products. For example, you can select probably your water bottles or coffee mugs for going to office or taking to the gym or taking to your universities, wherever you are. So in that way, you can save money and probably have to stop spending on your PET bottles that you can buy in the stores that are the single-use products, and they actually lead up to consuming expenses later on. And if you see your monthly budget, you can find that they are actually quite expensive on a long run as well. So by doing that, you not only help to save yourself by saving money, but also you help the environment. So yeah, everybody wins in that case. For tip number 10, I would suggest you to use second-hand shopping experiences. So probably your Facebook marketplace, or you can find some second-hand stores even online. So you can search that place if you want to buy anything, even for clothes, like going to the thrift store and things like that can help in a long run. So instead of buying your first-hand product, you can always opt for your second-hand product. They are of good quality. It's just people who have left them for you actually. So you can use those second-hand products. They are for you as well. Now moving forward, I'd like to give 2 bonus tips as well. So tip number 1, for our bonus section, I would suggest that you automate your savings and do something with it. Probably you can save your money in a savings account instead of a direct just deposit account, and you can subscribe for some SIP, your systematic investment plans, so that you can invest in stock markets. And for the second tip on this bonus section, I would like to suggest on the entertainment section. So most probably for your entertainment, you won't be just doing this thing alone. So you'll be in a group, and sometimes the group expenditure can just add up, and there's no way you can avoid it, because one person says that you need to eat out in a restaurant and the next person agrees, and so you are forced to do that. So in that case, probably sometime or most of the time, if your friend groups are good, you can just opt for using indoor entertainments, probably cook together or probably do some house parties like that. So there you have it, our top 10 simple ways in order to reduce our expenses. So if we adopt some of these habits, in the long run, this can significantly add up in our reducing expenses and increasing our money to our pocket. So that's all from me, and thank you for watching. And if you have some tips to suggest to others as well, do write down in the comment section. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next video.